The British state pension is paid to everyone who has worked in the UK, but they need to have made a minimum number of contributions and have reached pension age. In some circumstances, it can be available to the spouse of someone who is eligible for the British state pension. British Pensions in Australia, BPIA, is a not-for-profit organisation established to fight for equal rights for pensioners in Australia. Currently, pensioners in Australia do not receive the annual increases in the rate of British state pension that are paid to pensioners in the UK and elsewhere in the world. Over the years, BPIA has gained expertise in how to apply for a British state pension. We have also developed contacts that can help people navigate through the bureaucracy that manages the pension. There are two important differences between the British state pension and the Australian age pension. Unlike the Australian age pension, the British state pension is not means tested. Entitlement to British state pension is based on having made contributions to the scheme. There are also three other things that are useful to know. Firstly, you don't have to be British to be entitled. Citizens of other countries, such as Australians, can be eligible if they have made the required number of contributions. Secondly, you can receive both the Australian age pension and the British state pension. Receiving the British state pension may affect your entitlement to the Australian age pension because of the income test. But in almost all cases, you will be better off receiving both the British state pension and the Australian age pension. Finally, you don't have to stop working to receive the British state pension. All you have to have done is to have made the required number of contributions and have reached pension age. Over the years, the British government has not been able to resist tinkering with the rules relating to British state pension. As a result, answering the simple question about when you become entitled and how many contributions you have to have made is not straightforward. The scheme originated at a time when women were treated differently to men and when it was assumed that women stayed at home and men went to work. It was also a time when the average lifespan was shorter than it is now. The British state pension is often known as the Old Age Pension, or OAP for short. Contributions are technically national insurance contributions. Until 2010, the state pension age for women was their 60th birthday. Since then, it has increased month by month, with the target of being their 68th birthday from 6th of April 2046. Thus, for women born after 6th of April 1950, the state pension age will depend on when they were born. For women born after 6th of April 1978, their state pension age will be their 68th birthday. Until 2019, the state pension age for men was their 65th birthday. Since then, it has been increased month by month with the target of being their 68th birthday from 6th of April 2046. Thus, for men born after 6th of April 1953, the state pension age will depend on when they were born. For men born after 6th of April 1978, the state pension age will be their 68th birthday. If you have paid national insurance contributions, you will have been given a national insurance number. You need this number for Inland Revenue to check your contributions history and your entitlement to British state pension. All is not lost if you've forgotten your national insurance number. It is possible to find it by filling in and submitting a form with your personal details, but the process takes time. There are 4 classes of national insurance contributions, depending on the status of the payer. People who are or have been employed whilst in the UK will have paid Class 1 contributions. Of particular interest to people living in Australia who have previously worked in the UK is the ability to make Class 2 and Class 3 voluntary contributions. Voluntary contributions can enable people to meet the threshold of minimum contributions needed to receive a minimum amount of British state pension. Once the threshold has been reached, voluntary contributions can increase the amount of British state pension until you are eligible for the full pension. Class 2 and Class 4 national insurance contributions are for people who are living in the UK and who are self-employed. There are 4 classes of national insurance contributions depending on the status of the payer. People who have been employed whilst in the UK will have paid Class 1 contributions. Of particular interest to people living in Australia who have previously worked in the UK is the ability to make Class 2 or Class 3 voluntary contributions. There is more about voluntary contributions later in this presentation. Class 2 and Class 4 national insurance contributions are for people who are living in the UK and who are self-employed. Class 2 national insurance contributions are currently £3.05 per week. Class 3 national insurance contributions are currently £15.30 per week. You should be aware that the British financial year ends on the 5th of April each year. Rates of national insurance contributions change each year. If you are making up for past years, you may be able to pay contributions at the rate for that past year. The latest change to the British state pension affects people reaching state pension age on or after 6th of April 2016. They will be eligible for the new state pension, which is higher than the basic state pension paid to people who reach state pension age before 6th of April 2016. There are transitional arrangements to ensure people who receive new state pension do not receive less than they would have under the old arrangements. These are known as protected payments. Importantly, there are special transitional arrangements to cover gaps in contribution history. The entitlement for new state pension is personal. You cannot rely on your spouse's contributions to be entitled to a British state pension. However, in certain circumstances, you may be entitled to a widow's or widower's pension if your spouse has died. The contribution requirement to receive the full new state pension is 35 years of contributions. You can receive a partial new state pension if you paid an aggregate of 10 years of contributions. They don't have to be 10 continuous years. For people who reached state pension age before 6th of April 2016, there are different rules for receiving a partial pension or a full pension. BPIA can help you discover and understand these rules. Under the rules for the new state pension, you can make voluntary contributions if you have made a minimum of 3 years contributions. There are special transitional concessions to help people who started their contribution history before 6th of April 2016. There are also different rules for making voluntary contributions for people who reach state pension age before 6th of April 2016. BPIA can help you discover and understand these rules. If you have not made sufficient contributions to receive a full British state pension, do not despair. You may be able to make voluntary contributions to build up the necessary contributions history. This is particularly useful for those who have not yet reached state pension age. They can build up a history of contributions over their life if they start now. Even those people who have already reached state pension age have the opportunity to fill gaps in their contributions history. It is important not to delay because there are restrictions in how far back you can go in filling gaps in your contributions history. British state pension can be paid quarterly or every 4 weeks. Most people opt for the 4-week payment frequency. The pension is paid on different days of the week, depending on your national insurance number. You must claim your pension. It is not automatic, even if you have been making regular voluntary contributions. BPIA can assist you in making your claim if you are a member of BPIA. BPIA exists because people who receive British state pension in Australia suffer a serious injustice. We are not paid the annual increases that are paid to pensioners in the UK and elsewhere in the world. Our cousins in Canada suffer the same injustice. The British government has recognised that the basic British state pension is insufficient in itself to finance a comfortable retirement. Over the years, it has organised various supplementary pension schemes. These have changed from time to time, and depending on when you lived in the UK, you may benefit from one of these supplementary schemes. If so, you will be entitled to a higher British state pension. If your employer operated a pension scheme for its employees, you may have been contracted out of the government's supplementary scheme. Please note that BPIA is unable to advise on employer-sponsored pension schemes, including schemes run by the government itself for civil servants and members of the armed forces. Similarly, we cannot advise on war disablement and war widows and widowers' pensions. Throughout this presentation, we have been talking about entitlement to British state pension based on a person's age and contribution history. If you are married to someone who is entitled to a British state pension and you don't have an entitlement in your own right, you may be eligible for what is called a Category B pension. This is paid to you when you reach state pension age based on your spouse's contribution history at that time. Category B pension is paid at the rate of 60% of your spouse's entitlement. You don't have to be British, and you don't have to have visited or lived in the UK to be entitled. Please note that Category B pensions are not paid to people who reach state pension age after 6th of April 2016. BPIA is not qualified to give advice on Australian or British tax. These comments are general in nature and may not take into account the specific taxation status of every individual. British state pension is taxable in Australia. However, you may claim an 8% deduction for the undeducted purchase price, which recognises that you paid contributions in order to receive the British state pension. This deduction applies to both Category A and Category B pensions. No deduction is made by the Inland Revenue in the UK for UK tax from British state pension payments. It is our understanding that British state pension is not subject to UK taxation if the recipient is not resident in the UK for tax purposes. BPIA cannot advise whether or not you should make voluntary contributions. The decision to make voluntary contributions is a personal one. You have to weigh up the cost of voluntary contributions against the expected future income when the payer reaches state pension age. The numbers shown on this slide are indicative only and may not be current. BPIA is a not-for-profit body organised to lobby for fair treatment for recipients of British state pension living in Australia. BPIA is manned by volunteers who have gained experience in the matters set out in this slide. We are financed entirely from modest annual dues and donations. We receive no government grants or subsidies. If you'd like to join BPIA to help fight for fair treatment of our pensioners in Australia, please visit our website www.bpia.org.au or telephone us on 1300 308 353. If you have clients who may be entitled to British state pension, please let them know about us. The British state pension can be a useful part of anyone's retirement plans. However, it is broken to the extent that annual increases are not paid to recipients in Australia. You can help us repair the British state pension by becoming a member or recommending your friends or clients to become members. We are always looking for more volunteers.